Hey friends, welcome back to the Basswood carving channel. Alright, today we're going to carve this little Santa head. I know everybody's carving Santas, but that's why we carve Santas, because they're fun and easy for beginners. And who doesn't like a good Santa? Well, this is an ornament. So what I did was I found some blocks. I've got all kinds of little scraps over here, as you can show them to you. This is just stuff I went out and found in my box of scraps, and got some ideas planned for some of it. But this little block here was I cut this out. I'll give you a size what I started with, and the size is 2 3/4 by a little over 3 1/8, but that doesn't matter if you just cut it down as far as the pattern. And any patterns I do, you can always go to the Basswood carving channel, basswoodcarving.com, and look on there. And I usually put the patterns up if I use them in a video, so you can get this little clip art Santa pattern. And the one thing I did different from it is I took the eyes out and just ran the nose up under the hat, just to make it something a little different. And yeah, so let's get started and we'll knock this little guy out. I'll put this right here for some reference. All right, so first thing I did, I just went around and circled it with the bandsaw just to take off some of the extra wood that was on there, so I could speed it up in the video a little bit. But if you don't have a bandsaw, you can always just carve down to the lines. So let's start by taking this off and getting down to some of the good wood. I'm gonna switch knives here. Getting down to the lines. The beard thing's pretty easy. You don't have to go exactly for the lines. This piece is actually, let me see, I forgot to say that. This is 3/4 of an inch thick. And like I said, it's just scrap that I grabbed out of the box. It was already cut, probably 3/4 of an inch thick. I didn't thin it down or anything, but yeah, so let's just work this down, get it close to the lines as best we can. And we'll leave a little bit of the line on there so we can round it. This piece seems to be a little rough on the ends, so I did go on and cut the backs off just to make it easier on the hands. So one thing I hate is holding on to them hard, sharp edges. So I usually like to go ahead and get the sharp edges and corners off. Get all the sawn edges off. Okay, over here I'm just going to cut down to the lines a little bit, get it close. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's cold here in Ohio. So if you hear my furnace running, ain't much I can do about that. Gotta have some heat. Actually supposed to be getting like 60-degree weather, 60 and even 70s, I think, next week. Which is crazy, but that's typical Ohio weather. It'd be 70 one day and in the 30s the next. This is a fun little Santa head. I've already carved one of these. Our carving club does a giveaway for kids where we carve, all of us carve a bunch of ornaments. And usually everybody carves 5 or 6. And I turned in 5 of them, and I was going to do the videos, but I kind of ran out of time, so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and carve them up real quick, and then I can turn them in, and I can come back and redo the video, because you guys know I talk about it all the time. The wife sees it, and she wants one, so sometimes I gotta carve 2 of everything. And I always try to do something a little different, which is what I'm doing on this one by taking out the little eyes. If you want to use the eyes, you can. The pattern's got the eyes in it. But basically, we're going to make some stop cuts around here, clean this out, and we want this beard to be kind of pointy on the shape. So just make your stop cuts across there. It doesn't even have to be perfect as far as like shapes, because it's an ornament. It's going to hang on the tree. And I'll probably go back and clean it up a little bit after I get it all done. But just to give you guys the idea of what it looks like and how to carve it, we're just going up and follow these edges a little bit, and then come back here and take some of this off. Just a good way to get down to your lines. Okay. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we need to take this hat down so it sits lower. So what we're going to do is we're going to come across this line right here and make kind of a deep stop cut right there, and right down to the rest of the beard right there. Go back over it one more time. All right. And I got my little line in here. It's kind of immaterial if you carve it off a little bit, because you kind of know, kind of goes from the beard back, and it's just how his hat sits. And this one's got, I drew one over here just to make that a little wider than what it was on the clip art. So if you want, you can go ahead and put that in there just so you know where it's at and you don't lose it. You can do that, or you can just cut it in when you're done. Either way works. But it's basically just your little fold right there. And I'll probably still have to come back and clean it up a little bit, but if you want to mark it so you know where it's at, you can go ahead and do that, like so. But let's take this down now. So we're just going to come down and start taking this hat back. So we want to be able to round that a little bit at the top, and we want it to sit back from the hat fuzz. So once you got that stop cut in there and you get your first cut in there, it's pretty easy just to come right down to it. See what we're getting to there? Let's go this way because we don't. And my grain is going this way, up and down. I don't know if you can tell that on the video or not. All right. Next, we're going to cut in the nose. So we're just going to follow our, actually, let's go ahead and, yeah, let's cut in our nose. Just get a little slice out of there. Now up here, we're going to triangle cut the depth out of here a little bit. So we can start getting down and round that nose up. Okay, let's go over here and do the same thing. Come across here where the beard meets. Take that down just a little bit. Okay, we'll get all that deeper once we get the beard down. If we just wanted to kind of mark that little area out first. All right, let's take this beard down. You'll see why I didn't spend much time on those edges here in a minute. I just wanted to mark them in so I knew where they was. Sometimes when you're just working with a flat piece of clip art, You have to think your way through it. And it's always best to just mark things out, and then you can come back and do all your shaping and detail work and all that stuff, because a lot of times it almost looks like crap till you get down to that part. But a lot of times it's good to just mark things in. And then you can come back and spend time and clean them all up. See what your wood's doing. See how it's kind of chipping away there on me. Sometimes these little areas are the toughest. When you're trying to leave something higher than it. Especially when you're trying to bring a nose out of a flat spot. But we'll get it all cleaned up before we're done, and you'll see it's going to look good.